Hello all, welcome to another edition of Food Sack. Today I'm down at 7-Eleven where, much like Picasso, they seem to be having a blue period. They have two new blue products. I'm talking, of course, about the blue Pepsi Max Electric and the sour blueberry Twisties. So I have them with me, the Twisties and the blue Pepsi Max stuff, and I thought, I'll make it a complete meal. I need a third thing. I did also get myself some blue raspberry Zappos to have a full 3-course blue meal. Now I know the Zappos aren't new, but whatever, rule of threes. Anyway, I'm gonna get stuck into these now. I think that the Twisties are probably the strongest flavor, so I'm gonna save them to second. Normally I would wash them down with the drink and I'll have the drink first, but I think I need my palate kind of unmolested by the Twisties before I can evaluate this properly. So let's just have a go of the blue Pepsi. That is very blue indeed. Wow. Chin chin. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. That has a weird like bouquet. Something in my nasal cavity is telling me, like, it's very floral. Yeah, very floral indeed. The ingredients list here is completely unhelpful. Just flavors and food acids and sweeteners and whatnot. So who knows what flavor it actually is. Does it taste blue? Not really. That is not entirely unpleasant though. In fact, it doesn't taste really anything like Pepsi. I don't know if it has any of the Pepsi flavor in it, but like you can tell it's not got sugar in it. It does taste very, max, like zero sugar, but yeah, I don't know. It's a fruity, florally sort of taste. It's interesting. You might like it a lot. But yeah, it tastes like nothing I've ever had before. A little palate cleanser. Alrighty, on to the Twisties. Now, these apparently make your tongue blue. So I'm very excited. These are, I think these have been in Australia before. Wow, they are an interesting shade of green. Wow, they do smell interesting as well. They smell very sweet. What are they like? Wow. Okay. Yeah, these are quite nice. These are pretty good. They remind me of chicken Twisties, definitely. I think just, mainly the color there. They do start as a sort of yellow twisty base, and then they do have this sour blueberry sort of taste. They really smell a lot like breakfast cereal, that sort of corn and rice cereal that Twisties are made of. I think like Fruit Loops are basically the same thing, so they do smell very similar. They taste a bit different though, although I think with less salt and less whatever is making them sour, these would be okay as a breakfast cereal as well. I did try the raspberry Twisties with milk. It didn't really work, but I think with some modification, that'd be okay. These are definitely fine. The sourness, it's kind of vinegary, like a Thai soup or a relish, and it's got some sweetness. So it is maybe like something you would find in Southeast Asia. I don't know. Wow. I was not paying attention, but my whole mouth has turned really blue. They're not lying. This is, wow. That is, whatever chemical they put in there to make the mouth turn blue, it is effective. Wow. Look at that. Can anyone do that? Wow, that is the most blue my mouth has been for a long time. Anyway, let's lastly complete the meal. We'll round it off with a little sweet treat. A sour blue raspberry Zappo. I don't know if I've ever had these before, to be honest. Are they bubblegum or are they like just a chewy thing? Well, now I did some research because I wasn't sure, but blue raspberry is not a flavor whatsoever. It does not exist in nature. It is completely confected. That is quite nice. That is like a nice level of sour. This is actually made in Korea. That's interesting. Does not contain fruit extract. That's good to know. That's comforting. Yeah, and I like these. Not chewing gum. You know, these were $1 something, worth every penny. Now, actually, the Twisties and the Pepsi, there are specials at 7-Eleven. You can buy like 2 for a good price. But also, if you're on the 7-Eleven app, you can get the Pepsi was $3. And also, the Twisties was $3. So this combo here was $6, which, you know, for a 7-Eleven, for 7-Eleven prices, that is not bad. Anyway, that's enough blue for me. I don't know what sort of havoc this will play with my internal systems, but I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there. Yeah, I couldn't find a blue ice block, which is unfortunate. There was one a few years back called Squid Lips, and yeah, that did do some things to me. I had a few too many of them at lunchtime, and yeah. Anyway, are you going to check out 7-Eleven's blue range? You should. Why not? Anyway, I will catch you all later. Many thanks for subscribing, doing all of that stuff, and I will catch you all later. Cheers.
They even stained my fingers. Jeez.